I'm dreaming of a Corvette Christmas. Let's enlarge this here. Hey, boy, this new camera is good. Wow, look at that. That is definitely higher quality than my other one. Holy crap. They want me to moderate my chat. To create a more positive environment for everybody, it says. Huh, this isn't doing left and right. This is not mono. This is definitely stereo, but it's putting them in as mono. Is this one on? Yep. This is both on. You will never love me again. I have no options here in my Realtek controller. All right, well, that's what it is. Yeah, it happens all the time. But you know what? This is for us now and not for later. It won't get monetized because of music. I'll get copyright claims in minutes. But what's funny is the last one I did, the only copyright claims I got were when I switched over to the whole retro wave thing. None of the stuff in the beginning got content ID claimed on it for some reason. I don't know. Billy Idol was on there and all kinds of stuff. Nothing. But I got a list of content ID claims for the stuff that was retro wave, the 80s retro wave thing. So, or whatever. YouTube is perpetually confusing. But yeah, this new camera is freaking awesome. I'm digging it. There's like clarity and stuff. So I'm going to be putting the engine in my Corvette. And I don't know if it's going to happen tonight. I'm going to get that far, but I got to get the Corvette in the air. It's behind me. Let me move this down, actually. So I get the Corvette in the air, and so I can do that guy, which you can kind of see right now. We'll see more of it in a minute. Once I get in the air, then I get the torque tube and bring that over here. And then I got to get I got the tires off first. I got to drop the front subframe and all of that. Yeah. Got to drop the front subframe and then stick the engine on it, then hook the torque tube up and all of that. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm just going to put the Corvette in the air. I'm going to start there, take the tires off, and then look at everything and remind myself how much this job sucks. But it's not really too bad, honestly. If the car was fully together and I was trying to take it apart and drop the entire drivetrain, it would take about an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's it. Like it's pretty quick. You can drop both subframes and everything out of the car in pretty quick time. But this thing hasn't run like 3 years, so I need to get to it. So first I got to straighten the smidge. It's a little too far to the right. And wow, why is my steering wheel wet? What the fuck? Oh, because my hands are wet when I'm steering. Probably when I pull it in. So I hope that's what it is. Yeah, nothing else here is wet. Must just be that. Okay. So I just gotta move the car a smidge, get it closer to centered on the rack, and then figure out if I know where my Corvette lifting pucks are located. I don't know if you guys have seen the Corvette pucks or not, but the Corvette pucks, you got this little guy here, and it keys into the chassis, and then you just lift by it, so you don't damage the frame or anything. They're super cool because they're in a position where they're pretty balanced as well as just being convenient. But when you pull an engine out, the car is still fairly balanced, and you don't often need to strap the car down to keep it from, oh, I got to pick the car up. You have to strap the car down to keep it from flipping off the dyno, like you've seen that one C6 Corvette video where it gets completely destroyed. All right, so I got to pick the car up. That's right. I don't remember being this low, honestly. See my wrinkles, motherfucker. Just kidding. If you knew me when I was 21, you knew me when I started to go gray, so a few wrinkles don't surprise me any. Ah, there it is. There's my floor jack. Dave must use it for his truck. My friend Brian wanted to help me with this, but I didn't call him because it's freaking almost 7 o'clock at night, and I'm just starting it, so I won't probably, chances are I will not get into the lifting the engine into the car phase. So I'm just going to work on getting the car in the air and getting the subframes off and getting everything assembled. Get the wiring harness put back on it, get the clutch on it, and all that shit. So that probably tomorrow I'll call my friends up and see who wants to help me lift the drivetrain into a Corvette. Did I ever get out of here? That wasn't the right lyric. I sang that wrong. Man, I ate way too much food. Oh, I had a big old late dinner, but it was too much. I ate so much, you're like bloated. So bloated. Okay, this is really kind of inconvenient right here. All right, well, that's where it's going to be. I'm missing my pucks. Okay, so first step, pucks. As I said, where's the front one? Here it is. Okay. Sailor Sam. Man, I'm so excited about this engine. A few reasons. One, it's completely new. Like, everything is new. The only parts that were on this engine, or that on this car before, would be the water pump. And even that was only on for a little while on the last engines I put on there. And when I decided something wasn't right with it, so I took it out. All right, there we go. So the oil pan, the water pump. It looks like that'll work. It's not the best. Oil pan, water pump. Of course, the alternator and all that stuff is the same. But what else? What was the other thing? Alternator, not oil pump, oil pan. Alternator, oil pan, power steering. Oh, and valve covers. That's it. Everything else is new. Oh, and gear drive timing. There you go. That's it. Everything else is new. Oh, there's a bracket right there. I don't need to order one. I thought I had to order a bracket. I need to cancel that order. Huh. It was here the whole time. Wow, there's a lot of dust in here. Oh, man. She's a dusty bitch. It's been 3 years of windstorms sitting outside. Oh, speaking of windstorms. Jesus. The hell of the grudge. All right. Cool. All right. Turn this a smidge. Oh, I also need to build the intake manifolds. So the manifold comes not assembled. This version of the Fast, for some reason, doesn't come assembled, and I'm not sure why that is.
but it doesn't. I think maybe it's just because they want you to pick like your map sensor ports and all that. So that's something I'll have to do and assemble that, but I'll do that. I'll probably do. I don't know. I'll figure that out. If I want to do it before I put the engine in or not. It's tough because when you put the engine in, you don't have a lot of room because the firewall and the what's it called? Cowl are really tight. But at the same time, there's a vacuum line. Let me just back up, makes it tight. So there's a vacuum line on the back of the manifold. That vacuum line controls the actuators for the climate control, and that thing is a pain in the ass to get on. Wow, these tires are actually way more bold than I thought they were. I need new rear tires. Well, that's good news. They've been sitting outside for 3 years anyways. So the sorry, my stomach hurts all of a sudden. The vacuum line is a pain in the ass to get you on the back of the manifold. So regardless whether I do it in the car or not, I got to do that manifold in the back. Getting the manifold in is difficult because as you're trying to get the manifold in under the cowl, the little dowels on the bottom of it can scratch the heads as you're trying to put it in. So I'll probably put it in before, but put it in before, there's some tubes that got to go behind the engine that are harder to get to when you're putting it in. So you're kind of like, some things are easier, some things are harder. Oh, that is really on there tight. Front tires are better than the rear tires. Boy, I got to clear this area out. Wrapped up like it just, man, that is a lot of dirt right there. I haven't played with the Corvette in too long. I did bring the RS in yesterday or last week and cleaned it up because it had mouse turds in it and stuff. So I got to shampoo the seats. But I did bring the RS in. I did get it all sparkly inside. I want to shampoo the seats still, but I got it all cleaned up, all the trash out of it. Oh, she's looking so good. And then just moving the RS around and seeing how beautiful it is inside and how good I kept the interior on it and everything after all these years makes you miss it so much. Man, I miss that car so much. So I got to get it running. So I'm putting the Corvette together, not because I miss it, and not that I don't. Getting the Corvette together mainly because it takes up so much space. The torque tube, the V8 engine sitting around, all the supporting stuff for it that I bought to go in it, the exhaust. It all just takes up a ass whack of room in the shop. So I want to get that stuff cleaned up so I can finish getting the shop cleaned and organized. And then I want to get the RS running again. I've been very motivated to do my projects. Yeah, that rear one's pretty bald too. I did not realize they were this bald. Huh. Well, I'll order something. But first, I'll do some burnouts on these. Make them the rest of the way bald. Oh, man. What are these things? 305 rears and 275 fronts. 305 rear. That's wider than tires on my truck. So, Jason, if you're still here, how was your Christmas? Oh, I got Willwoods to put on this thing, too. That's right. I got Willwoods for the front of this, big old 6 pots. with 2-piece rotors and everything. All right. Tires are off. So that's so loose. I'm so full, I can't breathe. I ate a long time ago. I ate steaks at 4. They weren't very big steaks either. All right, so upper control arms are connected. Coilovers are connected. I didn't check to see how strongly they were connected, but I could just drop the bottom bolts here probably. I can't remember what I did for that before. Maybe those bolts. I don't know. I'll figure that one out. Okay. So coilovers, upper control arms, subframe, 2 brake lines off the ABS module, steering shaft. Yeah, that's fully attached. Okay, so steering shaft. There's no clutch connected. Brake lines here are free of the body, but yeah, I could take those off too, maybe, and just leave them up instead of bringing them down off the car. Because doing that has resulted in them being bent like they are right now. Oh, I didn't even think about this. Her diff has been open to the atmosphere in here. What if it's got dust in it? Oh, it doesn't. Huh. I mean, there's a tiny little bit right here. But it actually isn't that dusty. Well, that's surprising. That's got to come down too. So let's see. Oh, but the brake lines are attached to that. So I'm at that point again. Like, do I take the brake lines down with it or not? They're not currently attached to the body, so they will come down with the rear and front sub. Oh, they fell off right now. Okay, they're falling off right now. So I guess they're coming down. All right, so brake lines. Rack's going to come with it. Power steering stuff is all attached. That's going to come with it. I think it's going to be all right. Brakes are coming off anyways. So I guess the only question is whether I take the struts off from the very top or from the bottom. That's the question with all this. Where do I take the struts off from? I'll look at the top nut and see if that's easy. I forget. It's been so long since I took this thing apart. That's where our previous owner hit something. A little spot down here on the bottom is a little weird. That's it though. It's the only thing with this car. It's got a weird spot right here on the right. Everything else looks beautiful. And then there was a speed bump that I hit. I bottomed out on it. Just put a little scrape on my cross beams here, but man, this thing's in good shape. I mean, it's been sitting for 3 years, and the only rust on this thing is the brake calipers, which are getting, or the brake rotors, which are getting replaced. There's literally no rust anywhere else. On the front, on the back, yeah, nothing. I mean, it's mostly aluminum and fiberglass, but there's still steel on it. Yeah, there's no rust in here at all. Literally, the only thing is the freaking brake rotors.
All right. Okay. So I bring the deck down some. Set up blocks. Okay, that's the shitty part too, by the way. I gotta pick the engine up, set it on the subframe, and put all that shit together and balance it. And it's always like rocking back and forth and being a twat. But I've had success using jack stands for like a truck that are taller and bigger. Put those in the middle here. But when you first put the engine on, it throws the center of gravity way off and it wants to fall off. It makes it rear bias. So I have to use a third one on the back, basically of the engine, the oil pan, to hold it steady until I get the torque tube on it. Then I get it long enough that it doesn't all like fall around. But man, it's a bitch. If you want your Corvette to make power, EJ swap it. Oh, dude, you know what? To be honest with you, I tried, but the EJ's too wide. So I'm just gonna be stuck with this weak ass 650 horsepower NA engine that I built here. 12.2 to 1 compression. A big cam that I designed. Church flow heads with huge ports and 10-degree valves. Just gonna have to do what I can with what I got, I guess. All right, I'm bringing it back down now so I can get to work on those control arms. That's the next step. I've reacquainted myself with it. Oh yeah, the back. I don't look at the back much, did I? The back. Coilovers are only been held in by one bolt on this side and one bolt on this side. So they're barely in. So those are the ones that are coming off. That'll be easy. 4 subframe. Parking brake cables. I gotta do parking brake cables. I gotta poop again. Why is it poop on my stream? What's up with that? Didn't take it off the brakes here, I think is the right answer. Yeah. And the parking brake's hooked up so it wouldn't roll away because there's nothing else to stop it from rolling. 4 bolts there. 1 bolt there. Oh, and then the upper control arms. Yeah, and the brakes are already disconnected, or the brake line's disconnected from the chassis. The shift linkage isn't even attached on the torque tube down there. That's on the ground. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, that should be pretty cake. It should work. All right, drop it down. Move this jack so I don't lower the car on the jack and have the handle pop up and tip my rear bumper off or something. I've done dumber shit. Got rusty that caliper, or that, you've seen caliper, that rotor is. But I got some 2-piece Woolwoods going on there with 6 pots. I'm hoping that their new stuff is better than their old stuff. That nut seems kind of hard to get to. That might be all right, but this one might be easy. I don't know. I'll put a wrench on the back there. No, I should probably take it off the top here. All right. I'm polyamorous. Hi. So you love me and who else? I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Sorry. I'll be fast.
Sailors pass the time away and talk about their home. And there's a girl in the town she works, laying whiskey down. They say, Brandy, fetch another round. She serves them whiskey and wine. They'll say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. Girl, your eyes can steal a sailor from the sea. Brandy wears a braided chain made of finest silver from the north of Spain. A locket that bears the name of the man that Brandy loved. It came on a summer's day, bringing gifts from far away, but it made it clear he couldn't stay, no matter was his home. They'll say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, and my lady is the sea. Yeah, Brandy used to watch his eyes when he told his sailor story. She could feel the ocean for her eyes. She saw its raging glory. But he had always told the truth, Lord, he was an honest man. And Brandy does her best to understand. At night, when the bars close down, Brandy walks through a silent town and loves a man who's not around. She still can hear him say, she hears him say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, and my lady is the sea. Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, and my lady is the sea. Cause the mama, I'm sure the hand and I get around. I don't think about any words and I'm a man that ain't experienced. I know you got the love of man, but I can love you better than him. Take my hand, don't be afraid, I'm gonna prove every word I say. I'm advertising love so free, so you can place your hand free. Does it come along and down by the dozen? That ain't nothing but kissing love. Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause the mama, I'm sure the hand and I get around. Yeah. Oh, the hand and I. Oh, baby. Baby, here I am, a man on your sea. I can give you what you want, but you got to come along with me. I got some good old love, and then I got some more in store. When I get through throwing on you, you gotta come running back for more. Wasn't running around and down by the dozen. I ain't nothing but just no love. Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause the mama, I'm sure all the hand and I get around. Oh, oh, the hand and I. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
I think that was a pretty good time. I think I was fast. 12-1. Hopefully you got a good tuner. Our pronouns are trans masculinity and trans elusive. All right. Not sure if you're a bot or what. 12 to 1. Yeah, I think it's 12.2 to 1 if I recall correctly when I did it. It better be 650 horsepower. With all the work I got on this thing, it better produce that NA. It should do it pretty easily, honestly. I've got the fast manifold with the race ports on it. The race primaries. Hopefully not too short for this cam. I don't think they will be, but yeah, all that compression. I'm going to use about 30 to 50% ethanol. I think that'll be good for this thing. I'm going to put an M-Tron on it. I'll run on M-Tron. I'm going to keep the factory seal. It's going to be much like the Honda, how I piggybacked it. So I was going to piggyback an M-Tron because I want that cluster to work. And M-Tron doesn't have the cluster protocol for this. Mainly because it's a totally different thing. It's a, what is it called? Like 1875 BDW or some shit like that. It's some OBD protocol that GM only used for a couple years. It was the beginning of the CAM protocols, really. And they didn't use it on a whole lot of cars because they were VPW, variable pulse width. Yeah, I mean, that's what it was. VPW. I think it's for variable pulse width. Anyways, it's an OBD protocol that they used, or CAM protocol that they used, and no one's put any effort. Well, it's not nobody. There's one guy that put some effort into decoding it, and I asked him for help either in decoding it, which obviously I didn't expect him to say yes to because he put all his effort into it, or buying information and or products from him that I could use in my Corvette, because he makes stuff, but I guess potentially he sold the stuff to Holly, maybe. Now he only does like packages if you have a Holly ECU or something. I don't know exactly what happened, but it's frustrating. But that being said, I haven't tried to decode it yet. I haven't put a sniffer on the bus or any of that. And I'm sure if I did, I could figure some stuff out. I mean, I figured out a bunch of stuff on the Honda. And that was my first time ever doing a CAN decode on a car, was on the Honda. So I think if I was successful the first time on that, I could probably be successful the second time on something else. I think it's the size. I wonder if this is under a lot of tension or not. I don't think so. And we'll fucking find out in a second. An extension for that one. 1875 EPW? CR? Man, I can't remember what it was called exactly. Tried to look into it a little bit. That was actually when I learned that you could ask ChatGPT for stuff and it would be wrong. And you could say, that's not correct. You gave me the answer to this. And then we go, oh yeah, you're right. The real answer you're looking for is this. And you're like, no, not that either. And it goes, oh, thank you for catching me on that. I think the answer is this. And then it would give you something that was actually maybe potentially accurate. Now you do it and it says, if this isn't the truth, I'll make it the truth. And it calls drones over your house and bombs you out of the sky and you're dead. So don't piss off ChatGPT. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take that guy off. That's probably going to be easier. I bought a bunch of new tool organizer thingies because I need more organization. And I bought some for my sockets, and turns out I didn't have enough holes for the amount of sockets I had. I didn't realize it when I ordered it, so that was a bummer. But then I found another company online that sells them, and they have ones with the exact number of sockets that I have, so that was neat. Unfortunately, those haven't showed up yet. All right, there we go. So it's a 19. Okay, I'm guessing that's a 10 mil on the backside. Feeling things from my head down my toes. Now I'm just using a ratchet. I'm not using my gun. Oh! And right now, I'm learning that is a mistake. I like to use my ratchet for two reasons. One, it's fast, and it's not high torque. I have a high-speed, low-torque ratchet. What's up, Mark? I'll be on that side of the car in a second. All the time. How was your Christmas, Mark? Mine was busy as shit. We went everywhere. Saw a million people. All right, it was probably only 60, but it felt like a million. All right, so now I'm going to find out if I'm making a grave mistake over here. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, okay. I think we're good. Let's see. Does this drop down without pinching anything else? Okay, so the Allen wrench, or the Allen wrench? No. The Allen socket was the play. I dropped a nut for it, though. So that's going to be fun. There it is. Yes, we drove to the west side of the state, of Washington State, I should say, to see my wife's family. And on pump gas? Oh, no, maybe you missed that when I said that earlier. It's going to be like 30 to 50% ethanol, probably. That kind of compression, that's hard to do on pump gas. I mean, with enough timing retard, you could almost do anything. But the problem with that is that even with a bunch of timing retard, at higher speeds, it's possible that the thermal energy added from compression alone could be enough, combined with residual heat in the cylinder. I actually had that discussion on a stream a couple streams ago, talking about the thermal energy needed to ignite the air-fuel mixture and all of that. So yeah, this one will be a blend of ethanol. So it'll have flex fuel. It's going to have an M-Tron. The challenge is, that's what I was going to say earlier, is getting the M-Tron to work on this. Because it's going to be piggyback. So I have to do... what the hell? Oh, yeah. That's the wrong size, Dominic. I have to... I want to keep my cluster going. The factory cluster. I like... If you haven't seen the C5 Z06 cluster, I think it's beautiful. I think it's a good-looking cluster. Chevy knocked it out of the park. For a factory cluster in 2002, it is pretty damn nice. And I don't want to lose that. Also, this thing has VDC and trash control and all that kind of stuff, and I like to keep as much of that as I can. But I don't like the way this ECU controls idle. When you get on big cams like this, it
it makes it far more difficult to tune idle. And I've done a bunch of idle tuning on big cam Corvettes, right? It's not like I haven't done it, but you know, I can't have motorsports features on the factory ECU. If I want to do all kinds of cool shit with motorsports, then I need to stand alone anyways. If I want actual good functioning flex fuel, then I need that too. You can do it on the PCM, the 411 PCM, I think is what it is. And I think I bought one. And I have all the wiring and all that stuff to run that in this car. But that still leaves me with two things. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think with the 411 PCM, it didn't do... What was it didn't do? It didn't do something correctly. I think maybe ignition. Didn't correct ignition correctly or something like that. And then I'm still stuck with a shitty idle. And I just was like, you know what? I don't want that. I want better idle. And motorsports features and all of that. And the M-Tron can do that, no problem. Well, I mean, you asked it. But yeah, no, I don't want E85. I don't want 85% because that's just unnecessary. Unnecessary. Don't need that much ethanol in it. And I know there's a video going around the internet right now going, blending E85 is awful. Oh, you want to do that? You get sludge from blending E85. Hate that fucking video. I've already been linked to it 100 times. This guy says blending E85 is bad. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I hate that video. Okay, so control arms off, coilover off. That was easy. That was painless. I didn't even get any metal slivers or nothing. All right, so I need to go down some more. And yeah, I need to get down some more. Then I need to do the steering shaft. Oh, I need to lock my steering wheel. So I gotta do that. I get a bungee cord on my steering wheel. So I don't want that shit spinning around on me. Then I'm out of clock spring. And good luck finding a clock spring for an 02 Corvette. I can't imagine that's easy. Did I hook this last time? Guess what? I did this right here. How about that? Is that a good spot? Yeah, that's good. That's in some steel. I like it. Oh, it's not long enough to go on twice. All right, that should keep it centered enough. So these things were made to come out. Today we're 10 mil stock, I'm going to lose. Don't make me answer that question. Don't make me answer that. If I have to answer that question, something bad's going to happen. Two pieces. Okay, I thought that was a 13. There's actually very little on this car that's 10. That's a lie. There's very little on this car that's 12. There's a bunch that's 10, but you know, it's 02, so it's like in between, because we're looking at 02 GM, so it's in between the metriques and the standards that are basically metriques, or the metriques that are basically standards. You get 13 and 15
and things like that. 17 especially, right, which is the exact same. 17, 19 crossover as well. Okay, that's off. That was good. All right, this line wrench here for the 2 major brake lines to the master cylinder. Man, there's a lot of dust in there. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do about that. I don't think a vacuum is going to do it. Guess I just got to start wiping shit down. That's really dusty. Oh, that's what I need to buy. I always looking for an excuse to buy more tools. I need a better line wrench set. Oh, hello, Spider. What are you? Oh, you're a cute cat spider. Come on, here you go. Nope, you don't want to go that way. Go this way instead. There you go. Oh, this might work. Check out a cat-faced spider online. If you haven't seen a cat-faced spider, check out a cat-faced spider. I usually tell people that, and the response is usually, burn it with fire. But I try not to ever kill spiders. It does happen sometimes. If they're toxic to human spiders, then I will kill them. But something like the cat-faced spider that will bite but isn't toxic, I leave them alone. Because they help clean up other stuff that they don't like. Other critters that make a mess of things. Ugh, my wife goes crazy. She's like, how did you not flip out when that thing crawled on your face? And I'm like, trust me, inside I was fucking screaming. I had one, I was reading a book, and I thought it was an eyelash. It was on my eye. It tickled my eye. Then it just tickled my nose. And I'm like, thinking to myself, I blinked, and I don't think the eyelash should have went that way. And then that eyelash crawled across my nose. And it was a spider on my face while I was laying in bed. Now, my brain inside screamed like a freaking 5-year-old throwing a tantrum. But outside, I was like, oh, there's a spider on me. And I knew that if I went like, whoa, and like tried to slap it off my face, like most people instinctively want to do, that spider would end up in my bed. So I resisted every freaking natural instinct in me to scream like a little kid and flick it off my face, because I didn't want to get it in my bed and then have to worry about where the hell it's at now. So I stood up with spider on my face, walked in the bathroom, wife was sitting on the toilet. Or no, she got the shower, that's what it was. And I'm like, here you go, little spider. And she's like, what did you say? I said, here you go, little spider. She's like, what are you talking about? Like, there was a spider on my face. And then I went, ah! I got to get it out. Does your C5 have the poverty buttons? I don't know what that is, dude. What's a poverty button? Poverty button. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'll be a poverty button. I'm trying to decode this real quick before you have a chance to answer, so I can figure out what a poverty button is. Is that like poverty button? Like trash control, where you turn it off and then run into a tree immediately, make yourself broke? Because I've seen those videos. Street racing Corvettes, dudes fucking lose control and immediately hit a tree 50 feet off the stop sign where they started. I hurt my CTSV doing that like a moron. Not exactly like that. I was doing about 100, but my rear end broke, and then the snout of the rear end decided to dig its way into the ground and lift the rear end of the car off the ground. That was fun. My wife was with me. She was my girlfriend at the time. And, yeah, ruined that. The car was actually okay. Just had a couple grand in wheel and tire and suspension arm damage. Actually, it wasn't that bad. They still totaled, of course, because insurance companies are assholes. But I literally fixed it for like $4,500. That was it. All right. It really sucked though. I felt terrible about wrecking that car. Heck, I did. The body had not a. Oh no, essentially there was one little scratch on the bumper on the front corner, and that's it. That's all it was there. Wheels and tires were obviously smoked on one side because I hit the curbs. What happened? And control arms and one of the subframes, and that was it. And I just replaced that shit, and the car was great. Car corner balanced within 20 pounds. That car, I couldn't believe that, honestly. From the factory, that CTSV is superbly balanced. It's nose heavy. Don't get me wrong. It's nose heavy. But it's all four corners are within a few pounds of each other. Like, it's really good. Really good. And so after I fixed it, and I was like, man, we'll find out if I got issues. Because, you know, if one set of control arms is bent and it's up higher than the other, or something's goofed up, or the strut mount is damaged and you don't see it, or it's pushed up, you're going to have different spring pressure on there. But nope, the car balanced perfectly. There was no tension on the sway bars, nothing. Just sat right on the scales, and it was phenomenal. I remember that day. It was a good day. Okay, steering's off. Brake is off. Some grew cold. Okay, that is off. I don't think there's anything else up here I need to do. I think it literally is just put the stands up and drop the 4 bolts. Man, it's been 3 years since I've done this, so I'm trying to remember, but I don't think there's anything else. I think I got everything. Power steering, ABS is unplugged. All that's going to go down with the subframe. The radiator is not on the subframe. That's somewhere else. That's on the chassis. That's going to stay. I think I just drop it down. I think it's good. I need to tell Chase to cancel that order too. What are property buttons? You didn't tell me. What are property buttons? All right, this is those are 21s, but let me get my jack stands first. What do I do with those? I had those out. Those are small ones for the rear. Oh, I do have them out right there, next to the torque tube. Now, my dumbass pulled the whole torque tube and transmission and everything out because my plan was to build the transmission. That was my plan. I was going to build the tranny. Going to have some, they call them face-plated gears. I don't like that term, but I know what they're saying, or why they say it. So it's going to have the gears face-plated. Do I want to go higher than this? No, I think that'll work. But I didn't because I ran the fuck out of money. But I do want a different transmission in this thing. I do not like the C6 Z06 transmission. I'm not a fan at all, honestly. Ow. Everyone talks about how good this transmission is. Yuck. Don't like it. I know why. I guess there's a good deal for it. Reed. I know why you gave me a good deal, Reed. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. I'm not upset that I got a deal for the transmission. How dare you give me a good deal? I don't even honestly think that was that good of a deal. But I got the C6 Z06 transmission and torque tube. And a couple other components. Nothing too crazy for $4,500. And then, of course, I don't use the torque tube because I hope I'm doing this right. I feel like I am. I can take this one off, and then I don't have to drop the rear one while it's down. I can move a little bit because the brake lines have some give to them. But I do need to make sure that I'm ready to catch the rear one. So I'm going to go with the rear one. First gen CTSV with the 6-lug bolts. I had a LS6, what they came with, and I was an idiot and I stroked it. I didn't want to stroke it, but honestly, the truth of the matter is a friend of mine, or somebody I thought was a friend, got put into a tight spot, so he needed to sell it. So he gave me a good deal for it, for the rotated. Is that right? Is that how that went? How'd that go? Let me think about this for a second. No, that's not what it was. I bought a rotating kit for his car. That was a stroke kit. And then after I got it, he decided he couldn't use it. And then he needed money, so I bought his blower off of him. That's what it was. So I bought the blower off of him. And then so I had this rotating kit and a blower. So I put a stroked 5.7. This looks like a 15. A stroked 5.7 in the in there with a blower on it, and it was a fast machine. But it confirmed how much I don't like stroked engines. Stroked engines suck. And it kind of just cemented that again. Got to be, man. Just did not like the way it felt. I mean, it was great having 650 pounds of torque on tap at like 1,500 RPM. I mean, that was cool and all. But it just didn't... It felt too much like an EJ with a small turbo, and then it makes 500 wheel horsepower. But it's boring. Oh, that's bigger than that even. What size is that? Oh, that being that big. That's like a 17. But 600 something pounds of torque at 2,500 RPM. Sounds good on paper, and it's good if you're just trying to do burnouts or something, but it just doesn't feel fun. Like an engine that pulls harder to redline. Heavy, you motherfuckers. That's an 18, of course. Yeah, it just doesn't have the feel of something that pulls hard to redline. They just have that like grunt, and it's just kind of like, it's pulling, I guess. It's yeah, you're going fast, but driving is about the sensation to me. You know, that's why I think GTRs are boring. I don't want a GTR. They just don't. Yeah, it's fast. It's real fast. You know, that Alpha, how was it? Alpha 12 GTR? The 1,200 horsepower twin turbo one that we did? That thing was fast as balls, man. You hit the button, the go button, and the thing would just would squirt and take off in a straight line. Drama free, really fast. And it was cool like the first time. But then it just, I don't know, there was just no threat. So, same idea. I like something that pulls, feels like it's pulling harder and harder and harder towards red line. And stroked engines don't have that. All right, that's off. Okay, so I've got upper control arm off. I gotta try and get the shock off. I'm gonna do upper control arm on the other side since I got the socket on the gun. Goddamn hiccups, man. I ate way too much. Yeah, so drifting was easy. You could imagine how easy it was to throw the car sideways. You got that much torque on tap. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There it is. And that's fun. But like I said, I want that tug. I want that pull. I want to feel that power coming in. Watch that horse, where the horsepower curve is increasing. And that sensation is achieved by having an increasing horsepower curve. It's not achieved by having a decreasing or mostly flat horsepower curve. And that's what you get with stroke motors. They're really efficient at low RPM. And then they just eat shit after that. And the B58 is that sort of stroke geometry from the factory, unfortunately. So that's not going to work. How did I do that? So the only way to fix that on the B58 is to go to something other than the B58. They need to be cut a little bit, but I still got some time. I actually thought about it today, Paul. I was like, I just cut my nails. I go, nope, I'm working on the Corvette today. I'm going to let them stay along so that when I cut them, I can get the rest of the dirt out of there. There's no dirt in there yet, but I figured working on the Vette, there would be. What was I going for? Oh, yeah, 13. Ooh, this is a long wrench. It's probably too long. Let's go with this one. 12, 13. There it is. So, anyways, that's my rant. It's almost daily about how much I dislike stroked engines. But yeah, the B58, like, it's already comes with stroked engine type geometry because it's a world engine shared with a diesel, so it's got diesel geometry, way under square, long stroke, narrow bore. And this is what you get. Now, the benefits of that, especially for the B58, is insane fuel economy. That B58 gets ridiculous fuel economy. That engine, I can get 40 on the highway if I'm under 70. 40. Under 70. Okay, so in areas where the speed limit's 60, 65, I'm getting 40 to 45 miles per gallon in that car, which is insanity, with 30% ethanol in it. That's not even straight pump gas. That's 30% ethanol. I goof off with that car, punch it all the time, throw it sideways all the time. My average fuel economy on a tank of fuel is like 27 miles per gallon. No, that's just insane. Think about that. When was the last time you had something that had 650 pounds of torque at 2,500 RPM, because that BMW does, and 500 wheel with ethanol, and still get 40 plus miles per gallon? Or that you could goof off with, and at the end of your tank, you're still around 27. 25 to 27 is what I get on that thing. It's crazy. If I do a lot of heavy goofing off, but with a mix of just A little bit of highway. I'm still in the 20s. 22. Something like that. Like the B58 is ridiculous for that. All right. Coilovers and upper control arms are off both front and rear, left and right. All right. E-brake. I don't know if I should have done the e-brake before I pull this mount off. That cable looks like it's pretty tight. Well, luckily I got a jack. So you can see how fast this is so far, right? I got these things disconnected. And in just a few more minutes, I'll be dropping the front and rear subframes out of this car. In just a couple more minutes. I'm already that close. As long as I don't have any issues getting this e-brake off because I screwed up and did it after the controller. Just got to find the little release nubs. Try to get my screwdriver, probably be better. Or maybe I'll look at what I'm doing instead of just trying to feel it. That might work too. All right, fine. But yeah, this car was made to come apart for sure. You know what? I'm gonna use the Milwaukee light today. Ooh, sorry, Mecca light. Use the Milwaukee. Stands up better on its own. And I get a screwdriver. Little flathead. That should do it. And that B58 is really a pretty awesome engine for being weird geometry. I mean, it's an awesome engine because of weird geometry, really. But, you know what I'm saying. All right, so I need this guy to come down off of here. It's been a while since I've done this. Oh, I should probably double check I have the e-brake off. Okay, wasn't quite down all the way, but it was pretty close. Okay, on the road again. Paul asked if I'm doing any shock dynoing. Yeah, I've done some shock dynoing. When was the last time I did some shock dynoing? A few weeks ago? I did a side-by-side. Oh, I still gotta do your shocks, huh? Yeah. I gotta make fixtures for yours, unfortunately. That's the thing. And I'm glad I didn't do it right away because my initial idea occurred to me just last week. Sucked. I was thinking about, I got to make it thread in, and so the body can thread in. I'll try to figure out all these ways of making it super sweet. Sorry, I'm breathing so heavy. I'm fat and out of shape. For the shocks, but then I was like, well, not every shock uses the same thread pitch. So if I don't want to make a bunch of different freaking shock mounts. And so then the other day, a clamp-on style design occurred to me. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a clamp-on style. I think I can make that work. All right, come on. All right, why are you being stubborn? You usually come right out. Ow. Let's try this again. All right, I got the e-brake line off the brake as far as the actual actuator for the parking brake. Now I need to get the line out of the hub. I got 2 of the 3 tabs in. Usually that's enough of this thing. But I think maybe it's sitting so long and having all this dirt on it. Maybe it's affecting it, or maybe I'm just a pussy. The internet will say it's a pussy. They'd be right, because you are what you eat. Here we go. Oh, no. I had it, Paul. I had it, and then my nail got stuck between it. If it was cut shorter, it wouldn't have got stuck. Not that it's long right now. Okay. This just isn't working. Werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand. Streets of Soho in the rain. Wish I had a little socket or attachment or something I could slide over this, just lock all these things down. Oh, you know what? I got one of those fuel line kits. I bet that would work.
Oh man, I bet I'd save myself a ton of freaking effort and time with that. This guy, yes. So I think it's gonna work. You better not let him in. Little old lady got me late last night. Werewolves of London again. That didn't work. I really thought it would. Maybe it's just too big. Go the next size down. I didn't think this right though. I think this looks too big. Or too small for this thing, which is too big. Yeah. Ugh. Man, that could have been cool. Would have been cool. Let's try to turn it around. So I can grab it better. Doing the werewolves. All right. I heard a click. His hair was perfect. Damn it. That's not working. Huh. This usually comes off a lot easier than this. So I guess the next step is to do the release up top and throw my tools on the ground, which is fine. Going up. So my hosting is almost up on my website, and I hate my provider. So I want to get rid of my current provider and my current website and go to something new. And I know a lot of people do like the whole Etsy thing, but I just don't want to do Etsy. But I don't want my current provider anymore. HostGator
They're dicks. Fucking dickbag of a company. They sell your information. So my phone rings all the freaking time. And if you don't want them to sell it, you got to pay them $17 a month not to sell your fucking information. And I don't want anything to do with that. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of having to literally block every fucking number that calls and send everyone to voicemail because my phone rings nonstop. I get 5 calls a day from the exact same fucking spam bot. Like, stop calling me. Like, it's not doing you any good, but they keep calling me. And so the fact that they do that alone is enough to want to murder a CEO. But oh, God damn it, come on. The hosting hasn't been great either. I've had all kinds of issues with their databases and shit going corrupt or having problems. Lack of connection. I just lose fucking hosting one day. So I just want to be done with them. I don't want to mess with them anymore. So I am open to suggestions. I hate building new sites and dealing with all that bullshit. But I need to do something because I just can't fucking handle it anymore. And I need to create a new business anyways. New website / business because, you can never have enough of them. Of course, I got to tell the federal government who owns my businesses with this whole fucking high crimes in business bullshit act, which only affects small businesses because the rich people paid the fucking politicians to not have it account for their stuff. It's just absolutely absurd. If you guys don't know about that shit, look it up. Their high crimes division is requiring all small businesses to report to the federal government exactly who benefits from their business and where the money comes from and all this shit. It's absolutely insane. It's ludicrous. All right, well, I'm getting my butt kicked by this, and I'm really upset about it. What size is it? What if I used a deep 6-point socket that was this size? This might work. Ooh, that's close. What size is this? It's a 15. I might be able to use a 14 on this. This might work. Because this thing has 3 tongs. And so I slide it one direction, and the 3 tongs slide into the grooves on the socket, which would be uncompressed. Then rotate the socket 30 degrees, and push it back on again. And all the little tabbies get compressed. I think this can work. Okay, there's open. Push in, push down. Oh, man. I was so close. Doesn't want to do it though. This is usually way easier than this. So I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. But anyways, I gotta redo the site. If I've heard of Fat Cat Motorsports, does custom shock tuning and stuff like that. I think he's out of the San Francisco area. I haven't, but I mean, lots of people do it. Domain register, not hosting unless you're hosting is weird. I know. I've heard of that. Saying for this, usually domain people. Yeah, so the who is stuff, for example, they won't block the who is information and put it like their site unless you pay them money. They'll just do the who is who you are. Whereas I did Squarespace. Is that what I registered my domain with Squarespace? And by default, the who is their website, their domain. So I don't got to pay extra for that. Oh, so, yeah, I'm hoping to. I mean, Trump's businesses weren't affected by it, obviously, because his type of business was on the exemption list. But man, if you've looked at that list, you'd be like, seriously? It's like entities that don't need to report this, and it's all the entities that'd be the most likely to fucking launder money. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Like, these are the guys you should be worried about. But it's not about that, right? It's about squishing the little guy. It's literally all the businesses that would launder money. And they're worried about mom and pop shops, you know, cutting a couple grand a year out of their taxes to make ends meet, to meet up with all the other bullshit taxes that they've put in place. And that's what they're doing. But all the big businesses, nothing. Investment firms aren't required. Like, come on. That's like the number one source of money laundering. And they're like, no, you guys are fine. You don't need to report that. That's no big deal. You guys are fine. So, anyways, I got to do that shit. My state Secretary of State is pissed. He's been writing opinion pieces and campaigning and trying to get federal judges to put more injunctions in and all that kind of stuff. I get letters from the Secretary of State talking about this government overreach and how it's bullshit and everything else. And what I love about my state is that we are one of the least regulated states in the nation. And he even says, Idaho is proud of being one of the least regulated states in the nation. And this federal overreach is impacting small businesses in ways it shouldn't, and blah, blah, blah. Like, suppressors in Idaho, legal. You don't need to even get a permit for them. If you make your own, you just make it. Put Made in Idaho on it, give it a serial number, and you're good to go. And if the federal government tries to come after you, the state attorney general will, or as their constitution, the Constitution here says, shall represent you in federal court. So the ATF kind of backs off Idaho people a little bit, with the exception of like Ruby Ridge, which wasn't silencers and stuff. But yeah. Boy, if you know about Ruby Ridge, that was some bullshit, wasn't it? You guys should look that up. All right. Well, this is not the way I wanted to do this. Ooh, a line wrench. That 13 mil line wrench I use for the front brakes. Where is that? It's on top of the car, isn't it? And on the evening news. Let's try this one. Something I can use. And then this one. They love dirty laundry. Bow, bow. Oh, that worked good. Okay, that's the trick right there, guys. 13 millimeter. Boom! Out instantly. All right, that worked really good. Okay. $13 mil. Worked perfect. Because it's got where the e-brake cable goes into the mounting flange. It's got those 3 prongs that stick out and hold it. You can't pull it back out. Or I guess like this, like little barbs. Getting 2 of them's easy, but the third one's always a bitch because it's on the far side behind the bracket. So you're trying to rotate it to get it, and hopefully the other ones don't fall in, and one falls in, and then you're stuck again. There's always the one in the back that's really bad. But this 13 mil was a perfect size. Slid right over there, push all 3 down, bonk, pulled it right out. Little trick right there. Don't worry, I got you still. I'm doing a new website, either e-commerce, whatever you need. We'll just need to figure out the best domain and host situation. But yeah, Squarespace just sounds cringe, like a better way to put it. But you know what you did. No, HostGator is the one that was doing that other stuff. Squarespace was good because they locked down the Whois without charging extra. But HostGator was the one selling all the shit, which is bullshit. Squarespace was just for domain registration, and they weren't selling my name. So I know that they offer hosting, and I was thinking of switching to them unless you know of a better server. But unless you know a better hosting service. All right, cool. I got those off. That worked out really good. I gotta pull this nut off here that holds that bracket. And now that I got it in the air, I can just double check something else I forgot. All right, upper control arms are off. Emergency cables are free. Brakes are free. Front and the side, yep, those are free. These lines are free. I think everything's good. All I got is the crossmember bolts now. So yeah, I need to drop this crossmember out now. I need to get my jack stands. This is a twat. For lack of a better term, this part's going to be a little bit of a twat. Once I get it out, that's fine. It's out. That's great. But I'm going to be... maybe I don't put this one on jack stands. Leave this one on the ground. I kind of need to be on jack stands, though. I need to be able to adjust the height. That's what I need to do. So what I need to do is get my black jack that has my spanner thing on it that like extends, and put that in here. Then I can adjust the back height and then adjust it to the front as needed. That's what I should do. And thank you for letting me talk it out with you. Appreciate your input. Just need to figure out where the hell I put my extender. That was over here. Boom, 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 boom. I thought it was over here. This is where I kept all the jacks. Why wouldn't I put it over here? Oh, no. Ouch. Anyway, so challenges associated with putting an M-Tron on the Vette. One of them, drive-by-wire. So this thing's drive-by-wire, but the Chevys have this TAC module thing that talks via CAN to the ECU as well as controlling throttle. So if I steal that, those inputs and outputs, TAC module is going to be angry. ECU is going to be angry. So I think what I'm going to do is flash a drive-by cable ROM onto my ECM, or do a segment swap, I should say, in Chevy terms. Do a segment swap to a drive-by cable ROM in the ECM, or use that 411 truck PCM that has the flex stuff. Oh, here's my extender. I knew it was over here somewhere. Use that PCM because it came from a truck. And came from a truck that had drive-by cable. Put that on there. And supposedly it will communicate with my cluster. And then I'll output a voltage from the M-Tron to tell it TPS. Which is what the M-Tron does for like R32 GTRs and all that. For the what the hell they call it again on the GTRs? Their traction control system and all-wheel drive system. I forget what it's called. But regardless, they do that with that variable voltage, and I'm using it on my Honda Talon as well for the same thing, telling it throttle position. Now, on the Talon, I have that value being based on a 3D table. So it's not just based on throttle position. It's actually based on load. I have it based on airflow. Okay, I'll close my eyes while it's out. I have it based on airflow, so that, because airflow is essentially proportional to torque output, and since the factory ECU is also the trans computer on that thing, then I have it telling the factory ECU throttle based on load. It's basically torque output. I have it based on airflow, and airflow is, airflow times RPM is basically torque. So I have it set to do that. But I also used to have it also controlling timing. And since I have boost on the thing and it had a TPS-based timing, I would feed it TPS based on load so that it would give it the correct timing as well, which I thought was pretty fucking genius. I was patting myself on the back for that for a while. This is 10 or 8. So I get to do the same thing on the Vette. And then that should tell the ABS computer, what I'm doing torque output wise, I think, or at least throttle position. And then I'll keep the mass airflow sensor to the factory ECU so it can tell the ABS, the engine torque as well. And then, I think that'll all work. I can't cool down. I actually saw Steve Miller Band in concert a few months ago around my birthday. And, man, you never know with the old bands. Like, is it going to be just a shit show? Some 80-year-old grandpa trying to sing or move around or whatever, and he can't do it either anymore. And the first song had me worried because the first song, he was not warmed up. His voice was not ready to sing, and it was bad. And I was like, fuck, this sucks. This is going to be one of those, like, ruin your experience, kind of concerts, and it was good. The concert was actually really good. In the end, it took him 2 songs to really get warmed up for his voice to get settled in. The dude was old as shit. And then, it was great. It was a really good concert. Had a lot of fun. And we had great seats. We were way up front. But it was really good. And their drummer was awesome. Drummer kicked ass. Oh, this isn't going in. That feels tight. That ain't right. I heat up. And it was funny because it was right after Eminem's Abracadabra Houdini song came out. And so he told a story about how Marshall called him and asked if he could use the song. And he said, hell yeah, you can use my song. And he gave him a bunch of the original tracks. I thought that was super sweet. I mean, let's get you asked for, right? You call an artist and ask them if they can use their material. And not only do they say, yeah, not a problem, but they send you all the original tracks and shit. Like, I thought that was cool. That's first class right there. That's somebody who cares about the art in all its forms. And I thought that was super fucking cool. So Steve Miller, while he has the worst written lyrics in history on one of his songs, and I used to give him a hard time for it all the time. When he called me on the weekend and we shoot the shit. Obviously that's a joke. Earned a ton of my respect when he talked about how he gave Marshall all that shit to use. thought that was cool. Whether you like Eminem or not, or like the song or not, or like Steve Miller or not, just the fact that he was willing to collaborate with an artist with a completely different genre of music. Not just the point of saying yes, but to the point of giving him all the original tapes. That's just fucking cool. No way of putting it. That's just cool. And yeah, he definitely earned my respect with that. Okay, so yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna grab my 21. Start loosening some of these. They're probably already loose, to be honest. So I doubt I put them very tight. Where's the nest? It was funny. He talked about how he learned a lesson really quick in modern music streaming platforms and followers. He said that in the first week that Eminem's version of his song, he did say version of my song, which I thought was funny, but Eminem's version of his song had like more downloads in a week than his had in like multiple years. I think it was a night. It was like the first night or something had more than his did in years or something. He said it was humbling to see it sell that fast. Well, it didn't sell. I guess it just got downloaded. I guess that's part of it too, right? It's like those people were paying for it. I mean, they might have paid for Spotify, I suppose. Or whatever. Just carrying it. Sorry for that noise. I'm almost done. Breaking free. Trying to break free. All 4 bolts here. Come on. It is not going easily. That sucks. This way. I usually do, though. There we go. Ooh, that one came right off. Down to 3. What's going on with the GC8? Well, I'm building a twin turbo kit for it. That's what's going on with it. It's I don't want to say it's almost done, but I've made some progress. I've got dirt falling in my hair here. I hope it's dirt. It's either dirt, ticks, or spiders. My fingers are crossed. That's dirt. Trying to blast this off too far and drop a subframe on my face. So I'm doing a twin turbo kit on it, and I've made progress on it. And I have an engine in it though, but I need to build another engine because I got to test my new rods. I don't want to send my new rods out without testing them. That's just not fucking fair. Especially if they break. That'd be terrible, you know? So I have two styles of new rods. One of them is already tested. So that's what the people who just recently ordered are probably going to get. The new ones are not tested yet. And so those will not go out. So the I-beam one is tested, works fine, lasts a long time. But the new one is not tested. So hope it works fine, lasts a long time, but I don't know. Oh, see, that's across the other side, isn't it? That's why that other bolt was in the hole, not this one. And that was probably the work of my good friend, We fucked up my other shit. Yup. That was cross-threaded. I hate when you tell a friend, careful, that's looks like it's going crooked. No, it's fine. Cross-thread. Stop pushing it. Don't use a gun to initial tighten. Tighten by hand first, and then put thread in by hand first, and then use a gun. No, it's fine. I got it. Cross-thread. Yeah, that is definitely fucking cross-threaded. I'm trying tapping that. Oh, god damn it. That is not what I want. That explains why there wasn't a screw in that hole. Look at it closer. Well, it's not totally fucked. I can see the threads on it. It's not totally fucked. It's just kind of fucked. It's just going to be hard to fix because it's the lead thread. And it's hard to fix the lead thread of a cross-threaded nut. It's way easier to come in from the backside and blast out the other side. You know, come in from the other side and run through with a tab or the other another screw or something, because you have, you know, all those threads giving you guidance and support. You know, it's like counselors for cars. But that's just fucked. Anyways, GC, it's got a motor in it. It's a built motor. It'll do good, but I don't want that in there. Because I want to build my 2.3 or my 2 liter. I have one of each ready to get built. And, but before I can even do any of that, I got to get the turbo kit done. Because I got the electric steering in there and all that stuff. So I want to get that done once and for all. That's going to take some fabrication. And I also, for that car, have an FA20 out of a BRZ. I want to see if the turbo kit will fit on. All right, let's see here. Getting close. Okay, back one's touching. Front one is almost touching. So we'll lower the back one a little bit. About an inch or so from the front one. Well, what are you touching on? Oh, okay, on that piece. Oh, okay, I see. I don't want to do that though. I'll move you over some. Let's go to this one. Is that gonna work? Right there. No, that won't work. All right, I want to do this now. Okay, that's not gonna work. Let's do it right here. Rotate that. In and out, in and out. That was the jack hitting my car. That's my favorite sound. Right there. Okay. Now it's in the right spot. Ouch. All right. Both subframes are now on the jack stands. It's almost 10:30. Need some stuff done before any debate or head to bed. Peace out. Peace, dude. Have a good one. 10:30. Oh, that's right, because you're 2 hours ahead of me. Have a good evening, dude. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna drop these last two. Okay. It's not last two. It's last four. 4 front and 4 rear. Question is this thing gonna just fucking fall over the place, or is it gonna balance? So we'll find that out in a minute. I'll get my other jack stands and put them under here to help it balance. I don't know what the front one's going to do. If it's going to fall or balance. Oh! That was a rock in the kneecap, baby. Hell yeah. Why is that turning? Why is that turning? Why is that free? I don't like that. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. How do you get to that? Well, the bolt is spinning in the chassis. Sweet. Well, let me do the fronts. Captured bolts. Hell yeah. God damn it. Okay, front one is off. Back one is fucked. Let's see if I can do it slowly without an impact. Impact might be, making it slip. Try and turn it slowly by hand. See if I can put tension on it in one direction or the other. See if I can get it to come off. That's a big negatory on that. Okay, well, I'll put some tension on it with the weight of the subframe. See if that pulls it down into the captured area. That loosens it up any. Or tightens it up any. Nope. I don't think you can see that from the inside. Nope. Maybe from the trunk? I don't think so. Well, that's a fucking bummer. How do you go about that? this, but I'm laying on my floor. I should have swept it first. Ugh. This is working. I don't like that it's working. I mean, I like that something's working, but I don't like the fact that the subframe is going to drop 2 inches or so once I get this thing off all the way. Just had to put all the weight on it. And lucky me, I'm laying on the ground under it, so see me a good time. Tell my wife I love her. Oh, there we go. Woo! All right. Rear subframe is out. Oh, fuck. Did I do my oil cooler lines? I need to make sure those are off up front. Yeah, okay, we're good. I think we're good. All right. Have no residuals in the front. Let's check the back. No residuals in the rear. Well, I've trusted. Can you see that? Yes, you can. I can surely see. All right. Cool. All right, just gonna put the engine on though. So put all the weight on these mounts, which are on the back. It's just gonna go foo, and flip backwards. So I got to put another jack stand. As I lower the engine down, I'm gonna move that front stand to the rear to keep it from tipping back, and then it'll balance on those 3 stands. I'm so happy I still have this. I thought I gave this to Igor, but apparently I did not. So that's good. This is my new one. I called Chase and tell him to cancel the order. Diddling, diddling. Well, I don't like that. That looks like it's fluid coming out of a joint that's not supposed to have fluid come out of it. Yeah, that's a lot of fluid on the ground here. Okay, I broke my power steering cooler? Oh, the line split. Nope, that's not a split. But it's bubbling right out of this line. On the bright side, I see it bubbling out of this line here. And this line is just a regular line with pinch clamps on it. So I just need a hydraulic line, or a hydraulic fluid resistant line. Because this is the return. It's not even high pressure. So just return. And then I can replace that line. So it's not a big deal. That doesn't concern me. Okay. All right. Fuck yeah. Okay, I'm going to swing this over. Oh, that's probably how it happened. We swung this over the other side. And I probably pinched it or something. Man, this ain't going to work. I'll probably just have to hold it, get the engine over the place here, and then pull this in place and put it in front of the engine as I'm lowering the engine down. Okay? All right. What else did I screw up? Okay, found another thing I screwed up already. The legs for this engine hoist are going to go in the same location that my jack stands are in. Sweet. It's just a perfumed alibi. How many other ways could I fuck this up? Oh, when we find out. Yeah, those are definitely going to share the same space. Substitution, mass confusion. What else could I do? Illustrious, you call yourself intense. Maybe I pull this one up. All right, well, I'll get two of my floor jacks, my other floor jacks, and I'll jack up the hubs on each side and then move those jack stands out of the way. And the hubs, I mean lower control arms, because the hubs are floppy. That's one of my two. Where's the other one at? My little guy. Oh, it's probably still under this truck, isn't it? Oh, yes it is. Of course it is. If I can get it out. Oh yeah, we're not attached anymore. That was under the Ford. Perfect. Oh, sweet. I'm using the mount for the power steering bracket for this engine hoist. I don't see that causing any problems. Oh, I can put the engine mount brackets on here still. Grab those. Ouch. Wow, that goes way far back there. Oh, I didn't realize it was so far back. Okay. Lay it on the line. What you doing after the show? Oh, my knee is killing me. Like that? Okay. Wish it was further back like this. You know what? I think I used the engine mount bolts to hold that thing up. I think it's these guys. That looks right. Come on, girl. Yeah. Will you be ready when I call your bluff? Definitely not that one. Or that one. Do the Trump dance every chance you can. This is all my Corvette parts. Oh shit! There we go. Yeah, that's them. Ain't that one. Looks like one of these. There we go. That's 4 more. And there's only 6, and there's 2 on there already. All right, sweet. Whew. Somebody must have kicked you out. Some. Revel in your band. Wait, what just happened? This fit a second ago. There it goes. I'm excited for this. Let me tell you. I'm honestly more excited for my white car though, my GC8. It's not GC8. I don't call it that. It's a GM6. Right now it's a GM8. The8. Technically, that was what it meant. And this isn't a turbocharged 2-liter. That being said, I do have a GC8. My black one is definitely GC8. 4-door, turbocharged 2-liter. That one is running again. Ow. Runs pretty good, actually. It's got a JDM 2-liter with AVCS, and it's got a VF on it off of a 15 STI, I think. 15 or 17, it was one of those two. I don't know which car it was. There was a couple donor cars available at the time. And top mount, injectors, exhaust. That's it. But seeing as how it's a 5-speed manual car with no ABS and manual windows, it's pretty light. It's pretty freaking light. And it rips. I mean, it's not as fast as my BMW. but it's more fun to drive because it doesn't have that huge torque spike and then nothing. Even though it's half the wheel horsepower and more than half the weight, it's more fun to drive than that other car. But I'm not getting no 40 miles per gallon with it though, like the BMW. See, all right, motor mounts are on now. I think we're good. Let's push this guy backwards. Hit the car a little bit right here. If I was to ever do this professionally, I would make myself an engine cradle. Or a cradle, a crossover cradle for this. So I could just pop it on the cradle, no problem. Some people go in the top. Oh shit. Some people go in the top on these, but it's hard. It's hard to go on the top on these. It might be easier than doing this. I don't know. Put this right there. And then I'm going to take this one. Use this over here. All right. I'll use this guy here. All right. That'll help that. That fell. Pick this up a little bit. Like that. There we go. Yeah. All right, anything else needs to go under here before I put it on the engine? Or on the stand? I don't see anything. Subframe, cross member, whatever words you want to use. I think we're good. Oh, fuck. We're not good. Shit. Fuck. I don't think I can do this. I need a lathe. Forgot all about this. Not fast enough? Oh. I gotta put something in it. I don't think it's gonna work. This is some redneck shit right here. These ATI dampers, the hubs, are made real tight. And when you get an aftermarket crankshaft, they're made real large. And what you have is a 5 thou interference fit. Now, if you know anything about fits, 5 thou is not a good one. That's too much. That's too much interference. So I'm going to try and hopefully hone this out and see if it works. Whoa. I mean, it's doing something. I don't think it's going to do enough. This hub is stupid hard, but it's making a difference. And I put this little thing in here to take it where the keyway goes. I don't have anything to take up the keyway void. And these stones are so skinny they fit right in the keyway perfectly. So this ticky here is hitting the filler I have in there for the keyway. Now if I do it fast enough, it actually blows past it. And considering I just shot it across the shop, I may have to keep doing that. Well, that made a difference actually. That's pretty cool, actually. Let me get some tin foil. Some tin foil in there. Try that. For the first couple rotations, it's gonna be really hard as it tries to grab the foil and pull it out of the hole. But we'll give it a shot, see what happens. This is super hokey. I don't recommend doing this. A lathe is the best way to do this. See, it caught that time. What does that mean? It's the sound of old T-Rex. All right, let's try this again. Okay, that didn't work. One shoe tore off, the other one broke in half. God damn it. I gotta put the pulley on before I put the engine on the cradle because the power steering system or the steering rack is in the way. This is a dry moly lube. I'm using this because I don't want a bunch of moisture in between them. I think it goes this way. Let's see. Is that right? No. You better. That should do it. Yeah, that way. I could try heating it to like 500 degrees. That'd probably help some. Okay, where'd that tool go? I loaned it to somebody. Apparently they didn't get it back. Or I stuck it in a different drawer. Well, it's looking like I didn't get it back. Where did I have stuck that? I did put it somewhere where it didn't belong. Yeah, I think so. Well, shit. I don't see my tool. Looks like I loaned it to somebody. Need to get back. Fuck. That's what happens. That's why some people never loan tools. All right, I'm gonna check one more spot. Maybe it's over here. It's not where it belongs, but it could be over here. Nope. Yeah, I wish I could get it in here. My crank pulley tool I loaned out and didn't get back. And I know I didn't just misplace it somewhere because it's got a specific spot and I always put it in that spot. And I freaking to get back. And I think I loaned it to Chase at Tier 1. And I think that's who I loaned it to last. I don't think Dave has it. Shit. $84 text messages. Holy shit. Me too, man. Well, I don't know what else to do. Gotta put the pulley on. Yeah. Damn it. 6-string secondhand store. Okay, where else could I have had it? That's it, man. That is the only places. It's the only place I used it. And I definitely loaned it out since the last time I've used it. Because I haven't done this in years, and we did Chase's car since then. So I really think that it might still be at Tier 1. Which means it could be anywhere. Hey, Jukebox Hero. Fuck! Check this box. It says more Vit parts in it. Nope. This song's annoying as shit. I hate banging on the crank like that. It's not something I want to do. Luckily, it wasn't very hard, but still never ideal. I don't think this bolt's long enough. Nope. God damn it. Well, I guess that's it. Nothing else I can fucking do. I gotta get this pulley on, or I can't drop the engine down. I can't get the pulley on without a really long bolt, this thread pitch, which I have. Well, I loaned out, and I didn't get it back. Unless I have, that's one of my, be one of my other expander or polar kits would have a bolt that thread pitch, luckily somehow. Nope, not this one. This expander kit here is a huge hydraulic one. And it's got that one. And it's metric. So. Nope. It does not look like the right size. Oh, I don't know. That might be. Let's see. Looks too coarse, but yeah, it's not right. Know how. Fuck me, what about you? Well, that's work stoppage right there. Maybe Ace Hardware tomorrow will have a bolt long enough. And I can go to Ace tomorrow and see if they got something long enough with the right thread pitch, but that's going to be questionable. And even then, I may or may not be able to get that pulley on with that much of an interference fit. But I will try. Fuck. It's frustrating. It almost never pays to loan tools at. Unless I took it to Sean's and left it there. I don't think so, though. I don't think I left it in Ohio. I have so many clutches. I need to sell some. Bunch of brand new clutches I never use, never will use. Maybe want a comp triple disc? This triple? Yeah, it's a comp triple disc for an EJ. Got a comp triple disc for an EJ that's not ruined. I got a single plate ACT for a Camaro, Corvette, etc. I've got single plate STI, for 257 and 6MT. I've got, I guess that's it. That's probably it. I might have them somewhere else. Oh yeah, I got a twin plate carbon for a 5 or 6 speed, which doesn't hold shit for power, by the way. You'd think that a sweet carbon clutch would have high torque holding, but it doesn't. Even with a super long break-in, we broke it in over tens of thousands of miles. And did a build on it afterwards. Not related to the clutch break-in, but just the way it worked out. And then had like 400 pounds of torque. The wheels that let go. It's like, really? It's a twin carbon. Why is it doing that? And then you look up the specs from Exidy, and they're like, yeah, it holds 500 foot-pounds or something. Like, oh, well, that didn't work out. Try this ball joint press kit. See if I got a threaded rod in here. Nope. That's too big. That's a big fucking ball joint press kit. Holy shit. What's I got back here? Oh, it's my parallels. I wonder where this went. I'm gonna write on that with a Sharpie. My cam seal, my cam bearing install tool for an LS. That's one of those tools you hope you never have to fucking use, because it ain't fun. This feels like a spring compressor kit, which you never want to use because these things are like death on a stick. Ooh, that looks close though. That might be the right. Oh, you know what? That's an Acme thread. It's flat. The Acme thread, not good. Good for this load. Yeah, it's an Acme thread. Oh, it's almost the right diameter, but it's Acme, so bummer. This tool here, last resort only. You never want to use these kind of spring compressors. They are dangerous as shit. I got that sweet one that I use for all the off-road stuff. It works good cars too. I just got it for off-road stuff. It works for all of it. Find you these nights. Oh man. Well, I guess that's it. That's all I can do. I don't think I can stream anymore. Nothing to freaking do. Nothing I can do. Shit. The cool thing is that I hammered it on, so if I want to take it off to turn it, it's going to be super easy. I need to get my freaking hydraulic press out again. I got a hydraulic puller. I gotta pull it off. Cheese balls! Well, I'm going to set it just on the cradle, I guess, to support it and help stabilize it, since it's going to sit here in the air overnight. I'll set that down. I don't know if it'll clear though. That hub's not on. I stick out too far. Psst, psst. Psst, psst. Psst, psst. Billy Joe and Bobby Sue, lovers with nothing better to do. Sit around the house, get high and watch a tube. Fuck. All right, sorry guys. Anyways, thanks for sticking around. Those that did. I gotta pull that back off the hydraulic puller some other day, and then get the hub opened up. Find the bolt long enough. So I'm gonna drive that hub in. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. So that is it for me today. Man, that new camera, look at that. Look how clear you can see my disappointment. Anyways, guys, have a good night. I hope you have a good